This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
China's imports of major commodities got off to a weak start in 2025, continuing the recent softening trend amid concern over growth momentum in the world's second biggest economy. Imports of crude oil, natural gas, iron ore and copper all declined in the first 2 months of the year compared with the same period last year, according to official customs data released on Friday. Coal imports were up in the January to February period compared to the same period in 2024, however, they were down significantly from the levels seen in November and December, suggesting that China's appetite for the fuel is waning.
Oil prices held steady on Monday as concern over the impact of U.S. import tariffs on global economic growth and fuel demand, as well as rising output from OPEC Plus producers, cooled investor appetite for riskier assets. Brent crude was down 11 cents at $70.25 a barrel by 0856 GMT. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was at $66.87, down 17 cents on the day. Last week marked WTI's seventh consecutive weekly loss, the longest losing streak since November 2023, while Brent fell for a third consecutive week.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Singapore, the world's largest bunker hub for ships, has launched a new standard for methanol bunkering, the Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore, MPA, said on Monday. The move is aimed at helping to facilitate methanol bunkering at scale as the shipping industry continues to explore alternative fuels for dirty conventional fuel. A new technical reference on methanol bunkering has been published to provide a framework for safe and efficient use of methanol as an alternative in bunkering operations, said MPA.
Saudi Arabia, the world's top oil exporter, on Friday lowered crude oil prices for Asian buyers in April for the first time in 3 months, in line with market expectations and after OPEC Plus agreed to gradually increase supply in the same month. State oil company Saudi Aramco lowered the April official selling price, OSP, for flagship Arab light crude by 40 cents to $3.50 a barrel above the average of Oman and Dubai prices, a pricing document from the producer showed. In the previous month, Arab Light's OSP hit its highest in more than a year at $3.90 above the Oman and Dubai average after harsher U.S. sanctions on Russian oil disrupted global trade and caused oil prices and freight rates to spike. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Cobalt futures trading paused on China's Wuxi Stainless Steel Exchange on Monday after prices jumped nearly 12% on growing concern over supplies of the battery metal. Contracts with delivery between March and October on the exchange all hit their upper limits. Congo last month announced a plan to ban all cobalt exports for 4 months to rein in a supply glut. Congo is the world's top producer of cobalt, a key component in batteries for electric vehicles and mobile phones.
Copper prices slipped on Monday as the market focused on the negative consequences for global economic growth and industrial metals demand from U.S. import tariffs. Benchmark copper on the London Metal Exchange was down 0.8% at $9,533 a metric ton by 10:33 GMT. It hit a 4-month high of $9,739 last week after U.S. President Donald Trump granted exemptions for automakers from 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico for 1 month.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
India allowed the export of 100% broken rice, the government said in a notification late on Friday, after inventories reached a record high at the start of February, nearly 9 times the government's target. Exports of 100% broken rice could help reduce stocks in the world's biggest exporter and enable poor African countries to secure the grain at lower prices, as well as support Asian animal feed and ethanol producers that rely on the grade. India had banned exports of 100% broken rice in September 2022 and then imposed curbs on exports of all other rice grades in 2023 after poor rainfall raised concerns over production. That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.